What is up, everybody? It's your boy Jay back here again for another video on Real Sports Talk. And today I want to talk about a very interesting topic, a topic that I wasn't even gonna talk about. But when I see stuff like this, and I see stuff like this, and I see stuff like this, and that, I gotta talk about it. It has to be known. The lies, the deception of this man, Carson Wentz. Today, everybody, I am going to unfold and tell the truth on why Carson Wentz is the most overrated quarterback in the NFL right now. And yes, I just said that. And yes, it is facts. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is this man's durability. Let's be real. He's been injured the last 3 or 4 seasons in his career. The dude's favorite place on the football field is an injury tent. And that's not a joke. Like, the man just can't stay healthy. It's a reason why Jalen Hurts was took rounds before he was projected to. Because the Eagles know what everybody else knows, that Carson Wentz is not healthy. And he can't be depended on for a whole season. And you're going to need a backup plan because he's an injury waiting to happen. And how come people don't count that? Durability matters. You can't sit here and say you rather have Carson Wentz over Russell Wilson. But if I had to tell you which one you picking for a season, I guarantee you're going to say Russell Wilson. You want to know why? Because at least with Russell, you ain't got to worry about him getting hurt in the first game of the playoffs. You don't have to worry about him getting hurt midway through the season. You don't have to worry about him getting hurt towards the end of the season and messing up your chances in the playoffs. But with Carson Wentz, that matters. So when you speak on how good he is as a quarterback, I feel like a lot of people overrate him because they don't really count his durability. And your best ability is your availability. And his best ability is trash because his availability is trash. And that's the number one reason why I feel like he's overrated. On to number 2. Nick Foles. A lot of people don't want to give Nick Foles the credit that he deserves. I really believe that this man saved Carson Wentz. If Nick Foles isn't there, you don't have a Super Bowl. If Nick Foles isn't there, you don't have 3 straight playoff appearances. You probably have nothing without Nick Foles. But see, people want to give Carson a pass because of Nick Foles' success. See, they'll say, Carson Wentz is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. But he's not, though. He didn't play in that Super Bowl. He didn't play in that playoffs. People will say, Carson Wentz got 3 straight playoff appearances. But see, that's the problem. He doesn't have 3 straight playoff appearances. You see, because I remember in 2018 when they went to the playoffs, I remember Carson Wentz being 5-6 and the Eagles being 6-7. I remember a man by the name of Nick Foles coming in and winning 3 straight to get the Eagles into the playoffs. And then going on to win a wild card game against the 12-4 Chicago Bears. And then going on to almost beat the Saints in the divisional round to go to the conference championship. That's the Nick Foles I remember. Because everybody don't want to remember that under Carson Wentz, the Eagles weren't doing well that year. The Eagles were looking like they was having a Super Bowl hangover. But see, when Nick Foles got up in there, they go to the playoffs. And they 1 game away from the divisional. From the conference. So that's another reason why this man is overrated. Because people don't want to be honest. If Nick Foles isn't there, I guarantee you Carson Wentz would have been looked at way differently by Eagles fans. They would have been like, dang, we ain't got no Super Bowl because our quarterback can't stay healthy. Dang, we ain't made the playoffs again because our quarterback can't stay healthy. All you would have had for Carson Wentz is a 13-3 season with probably no ring. Then you probably would have had a season after that where you didn't make the playoffs. And you would have had this season where you went, 9-7 and lost in the first round because Carson Wentz was injured. But because of Nick Foles' success, you look at that man very differently because you still got them 3 playoff appearances and you still got that Super Bowl. But see, that's not right because Dak Prescott doesn't have a Nick Foles. See, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a Nick Foles. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a Nick Foles. So they don't have the luxury of being able to get hurt and their team still be great. But see, Carson Wentz had that luxury. And I feel like people overrate him because they look too much at that success and they don't look at the fact that he wasn't the reason why that happened. But we on to the next one. My third reason. People might come at me in the comments and say, but what about the 4,000 yards? What about this year when he had 4,000 yards with no receivers? He didn't have no 500-yard receivers. He didn't have no receivers over 500 yards. He's a dog. What about that one? I got you. See, people want to talk about the no receivers thing, right? What about the tight ends? Zach Ertz had 916 yards. Oh, I'm sorry. Dallas Goedert had 607 yards. That's a combo of 1,523 yards. So it seemed like he had help. But I'm not done. Miles Sanders had 509 yards. And his running back core as a whole had 806 yards. That's combined with the tight ends. That's 2,329 yards. 2,329 yards. But he ain't had no help. So you don't look too much up into the receiver thing. Because, see, they can mess with those little stats. They can sit back and they can say, well, no receivers. Tom Brady didn't have no receivers like that. You know what I'm saying? It's been quarterback that doesn't have receivers. But when you have good tight ends and you have good receiving backs, you can still put up good numbers. Brady's been doing it for years now without a really good receiver. So I don't want to hear that cap from Carson Wentz. Oh, he had this amazing year. He had help. He had two really good tight ends. One of the best tight ends in the game, probably the top 5 tight end in Ertz, and a young tight end that's going to be one of the best in Dallas Goedert, and had one of the best total yard backs in the league in Miles Sanders. So don't tell me that he didn't have no help, because that's cap. Now let's move on. On to my last reason. Now see, I've heard people talk about my quarterback, Dak Prescott. Yes, I'm a Cowboys fan. Yes, this video biased. You may say so, but I'm speaking facts. So don't do that. And I've heard people say stuff like, well, you know, Dak Prescott isn't good because he's not good against winning teams. They'll say that. They'll say that winning teams thing, right? And people will say that about other quarterbacks. Well, they're not that good because they're not good against winning teams. But why people don't say that about Wentz? Because last time I checked, I'm over here looking at my numbers, and Carson Wentz is 10-17 versus good teams, which is 37%. That is worse than Dak Prescott, Goff, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Brady, Watson, and Rodgers. But he better than all those quarterbacks, right? Right? He had Nick Foles to save him. He's always injury prone. He actually had help last year. And he's still 10-17 versus good teams. Lower than all those quarterbacks I just named. But he better than him, right? He the top quarterback, right? Stop it. It's cap. That concludes my video. You see what I'm saying? I just had to let it be known. Like, you have the liars of the world like Colin Cowherd that's going to come out and say, oh, Carson Wentz so great. And the Philadelphia fan that's going to say, oh, Carson Wentz so great. But wake up and be real. Talk about the reasons why you think that. Talk about the real facts. Don't lie to me. Because, yes, he's a top 5 talent. Trust me, his arm talent is amazing. I'm not disputing that. If he was healthy, he would probably be top 5. I'm not disputing that. But let's count durability. Let's count the fact that his backup quarterback came in, won a Super Bowl, and got to a playoff the year after when he was hurt. Let's talk about the fact that even though people claim he didn't have help, he had 2 really good young tight ends and a really good receiving back and a good receiving core of backs. Let's talk about the fact that he's not good against winning teams. And he's worse than quarterbacks that you will claim and say and fight that he is better than. Carson Wentz is overrated. And I just proved why. That's all I got to say. Let me know if y'all agree or disagree. Peace.